Good afternoon, Premium Gang. Scott G here. Looking forward to a great afternoon together. Let me get the comments brought up. There we go. It says one of you are in here already, so whoever it is, hello. As you can see, I have ES on the screen as normal. And right now it's making a little move to the upside here on the 30-minute. But we'll give everybody a minute or two. I plan on talking about 2-minute scalping today, so you guys can kind of see how I do that and what's involved. I'll leave this line on here and then I'll tell you what it was for before I remove it. So whoever is the one in the room watching, I hope you're having a great day. There's the 2 o'clock bell. I just got back from a 2.7 mile walk about a half hour ago. Took a quick shower and got down here just in time to get set up and get ready to do our live stream. We'll see if ES can get any follow through this afternoon or not. A lot of mixed reviews on what it was supposed to do today. Hey Stacy, good to see you. I've seen some people I consider pretty smart thought we were going up. I saw some people I consider pretty smart thought we were going down. I've seen numbers anywhere from 28.44 to the upside to some people calling 20, I think it was 27, I think it was 27.80 or 27.60. I mean, obviously we'd already been to down around 27.80 about 5:30 this morning, but they were talking about during regular trading hours. Let me see here. They might have been 27.60 because I do have a level at 27.61. But I know some people, I'd seen some people specifically call out 28.44, which is up in here. And then must have been 27.60 down here. And we haven't made it to either one of them. We've been in a fairly tight range. So low of 27.8850. High of 28.1775. 88.90 to basically 18. So it's at only like a $28 range approximately. $28, $29. So pretty tight range. It has actually been fairly easy to scalp, and I'll show you guys how here in a little bit. I see somebody else joined us, so whoever that is, hello. You guys are gonna have to excuse me. I am sucking down the water right now. It's 80 degrees today, but it actually feels warmer today. It was 84 yesterday. Feels warmer today. The humidity might be up a little bit. So trying to rehydrate. You can look over here at the advancers, and this number has actually went up today. Earlier this morning, it was down in the 400s and 500s. And even though we had this little drop right here, which I'm going to talk about when we talk about the scalping, even with this drop, this number has still slowly but surely been climbing today. That's still a low number, right? So, that would tell us that we should be, probably either going down or not doing too much. We're actually up in regular trading hours. We're above opening price, but not by much, right? So we flushed down right to the bottom here of the expanding range. Then we bounced up. So first two candles, right? We went down, we bounced up. There's our high and low for the day, and everything else has been in between there. We went down, we came back up, came back down, went back up, came down to here, went up, kind of flushed down, and now we've been steadily climbing since this, where we went right down to 27.99.75. So I have this up here. That will tell us if we break the high of day. I don't anticipate we're actually going to break the low of day. I don't even have an alert down there. Not saying we can't. I just based on what I've seen today, I would say it's more likely if we do anything, we kind of go up, maybe up to this level, possibly higher. Maybe we come back from underneath this line, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute, and retest it, and then maybe go lower. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. I'll tell you what we can do while we're waiting to see if anybody else is going to join us. There's only 2 of you in here right now. Is we can go and we can look at the watch list from today. And we won't look at them all. We'll look at some of them. Although the list wasn't really that big, so let's take a look. So BA was the first one. And I got to switch to a daily chart. And of course, my Thinkorswim has been fine all morning, and now it decides to get slow. And maybe it's because I'm doing the live stream, I don't know, but I'm hooked up directly to the Ethernet, and I have 1 gig service, so it shouldn't be slow, but it's acting a little slow. All right, there we go. All right, so here's BA right here. We had an inside day, we gapped down, we tried to go lower, just barely. Unfortunately, look where they opened us, and hopefully I didn't see anybody saying they were playing BA, but hopefully you noticed location, right? Opened us up right in front of support, and that's all it did was come down here and then come back up, and we're still in a doji, and it's after 2. So really nothing to do on BA. Big BIG, which is big lots. So we'll see what we have here. Okay, big lots. Opened up here above. You notice it didn't even trigger my alert because it opened above it. Flushed back down through, came almost all the way through the range, and then has turned around and is starting to work its way back up. So I probably wouldn't have taken anything on big myself if I was watching it. It opened up just slightly higher. Now, if it would have opened up and went green, yes, that would have been a trade. And then, the top of here would have been your first obstacle. But it actually went down, came all the way through, almost all the way through the range. I see a couple more of you have joined us. We're going through a couple of names, and then I'm going to talk about 2-minute scalping once we go through some of the names on our list. Okay, NOC. So far out of the first 2, not really a whole lot to do on the first 2. Let's look at NOC. And I apologize, I don't know why Thinkorswim has all of a sudden decided to get kind of freaky on me. It's been fine all day. Okay, so here we would have had a play, right? Take out the bottom of the inside candle, 324.27. So let's just say somewhere around 324.25. It's been as low as 319.76. 324, 319.76. So not quite $5, a little over $4. Okay, on NOC to the downside on the inside candle, actually on the inside candle, double inside candle. So this is one where I think if the market would have really started to tank, this probably would have shot way down here. Okay, but obviously the market has just sort of, kind of ebbed and flowed today. But yes, there would have been a play there. Good for probably at least $4. All right, a couple of outside candles, crowd. Okay, here's crowd. Yep, got a move there. So taking out the high at $70.19, so just say $70.20, and it's been as high as $72.45. So $70.20 to $72.45. It's $2.25 move up, and really, you easily could have caught $2 of that because as you can see, it's actually still going. Looks like it's still trying to push to the upside. Okay, so crowd on an outside candle. Okay, Walmart, and I know an alert went off on Walmart earlier today, but I was scalping at the time and I never even looked at it. So let's see what Walmart did. And again, every single time I try to bring something up, it goes haywire. Okay, so Walmart made a move to the upside. Hey, Kelsey. Yep, absolutely. I will look at PSTI. That's on our list, so I'll be looking at it for sure. Okay, so here we would have had the high 123.69. So say 123.70. It went as high as 124.40. So not quite $1. That's about 70-cent move. Then it reversed, right? Then it reversed and came back in. There would have been a better play because it actually opened up here. So it opened at 123.84. So it got about a 56-cent move to the upside. Then it reversed and came all the way back down in here. You could have entered right there on the move back through the range. That would have been the better play. The low was 121.70, so it moved down from the open over $2. Okay, so that's Walmart. And now we have our hammers. We have Lake. Well, first of all, let's look at PSTI. Let's do that for Kelsey. And bring it over where it needs to be. You see how it's just kind of jumping around on me here. There we go. Should have it. There we go. All right. So here was the hammer. Opened up here at 924. Went as high as 948. So only a 24-cent move to the upside, then reversed. So you could have looked to go short when it takes out opening price. Then it went as low as 860, which would have been a 64-cent move, basically back to the 20, and then it's come all the way back up. So a couple of possible moves. That first move wouldn't have gave you much, 24 cents. The move down, catching a, what did we say that was? A 64-cent move to the downside. So let's just say you caught 50 cents of that. That'd be a decent move. Let's see here. Okay, also had a question. What specifically determines whether a break of a hammer starts to run or just stays put and stalls? I'm still in long. My stop never triggered. I'm almost break even now. I re-entered on the break of the hammer on the 30-minute. Kelsey, your first question, what specifically determines whether a break of a hammer starts to run or just stays put and stalls? There's no way to know. There's no way to know. Now, the things that may help are things like time frame agreement. Is the overall market moving up strongly at the same time? Are things within its sector Okay, Pluristem Therapeutics. So is the healthcare sector moving up at the same time? You know, those are the only kind of things that you can look at to get an idea. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to move. It's going to move up for sure. Okay, why do some names, when the market goes up, why do some names tank? Right? Because some names have tanked today when the market was going up, or vice versa. When the market was going down, other names were shooting up. Those are outliers. So you never know for sure. You only can play the probabilities. You can only play the odds. Yeah, on a 24-cent move, that might have been a little bit quick. On about a 60-cent move on this name, you should have made some money. Now, I know you said you're still in and you're right around break even. You said you re-entered on the break of the hammer going back up. At some point, you should have been in decent profitability. I don't know what, because I wasn't playing this name. But on a day like today, when you see the regular market just sort of chopping, and like I said, we already looked at it, it's only about a $28 to $29 range on the market. You should take whatever you could get on some of these plays and not necessarily think that you're going to get a big push. Gotcha. Okay, so let's look at a couple others, and then I'll talk about 2-minute scalping. Let's see if Lake, did Lake do anything today? Okay, it doesn't look like we had much on Lake. There it is. Okay, nope, we haven't even taken out the trigger yet, so nothing to do on Lake. Place, PLCE. PLCE. Almost makes me dizzy how the screen keeps flipping out like this every time I put a name in. Okay, now Place, it's actually put an outside candle in. So it opened up. Let's go to the 30-minute and see what it did. Because it's went outside today. All right, so it started by flushing down, then came all the way back up through. So it mimicked, look at this, it mimicked the market. So the lowest it went was 25.69. The highest it went was 28.84. So on this flush down, let's see where yesterday's low was. It was right here. You wouldn't have caught a whole lot. I'm just trying to eyeball it. So say 40 or 35. Let's just say 35 down to, what was the low? 69. Well, that's 60 some cents. But then coming the other way, you could have caught a decent move. You would have looked to enter right here. Opening was 26.87, and then the high over here was 28.84. So 26.87 to 84. That's almost $2. So you probably could have caught about $1.50 on this move here on Place. On that move there, breaking here. Okay, because right, we know that these candles here, this candle, this is one daily candle, right? It went outside. Okay, so what do we call that? A single candle power reversal. It went this direction first, took out this side of the range, reversed, went all the way back through, and took out this side of the candle, forming a single candle power reversal. So you could have caught probably about $1.50 of this $2 move from right here when it flipped. Remember, because this would have been all red at one time, then this would have flipped, and as soon as it went green, you can look to enter, anticipating that it's going to try, because it already expanded the range over here, that it's going to try to go back through and test this side of the range, which it did, just barely got outside of it, and now it's just chopping just like the market. Okay? So let's see here. Shooting stars, we had Apple. I'm probably not going to go through every shooting star because I do want to get to the 2-minute scalping. Let me get back to the daily. If my screen doesn't freak out on me. Now there it goes. For some reason, it's really only freaking out on the daily. Okay. All right. So nothing. Never triggered. This is Apple. Never triggered. That's why I still have that alert there. Looks like as of right now, it might form an inside candle. So maybe we'll have a play on Apple tomorrow. DPZ, Google, Microsoft, Netflix. Let's look at Netflix and maybe PayPal. I'm not going to look at all of these. All right, so here's Netflix. Okay, never triggered. Let's look at PayPal. Oh, help if I put the right symbol in. Here comes PayPal. Okay, never triggered. Actually, it went up. I didn't even have an alert set up there. It's not that you can't play a shooting star to the upside or a hammer to the downside. You can. Okay, I don't typically do it. That's why I didn't have an alert up there. It did take this out, but notice what happened. It just barely poked its head above, and it really hasn't done anything. Most of it's been right inside of this hammer, excuse me, the shooting star. My alert, that's why my alert's never been taken out. Okay, I don't like to play against a shooting star or against a hammer. Does it ever produce good plays? Every once in a while it does. So I'm not telling you you can't. They're really no different than any other candle in terms of if it does go outside the top side, you could take it long. I just think the probabilities are higher if it goes short. All right. Okay, let's look at, let's see, I don't know if any of our small account growth names, APDN, triggered today. Okay, nope, this one didn't because I saw the alert there. Okay, never triggered. Just below it, because this would have been the trigger. Just below it, and it sold off. Okay, what was the other ones? STML. STML. All right. Now this one must have triggered because I don't see, give me 1 second here. I don't see my alert, so it must have triggered. It did. Let me find it. The trigger was at 12:16 right here. And the high on the day was 12:35. So not much. That's not even 20 cents. I don't even know if that's, let's see when it triggered. If it didn't trigger right out of the box, nope, it didn't. See, it didn't trigger until over here. I wouldn't even have been playing it. If it doesn't happen on the first candle or two, I've told you guys before, on the small account growth names, I just move on. To me, there's really no reason. Okay. And let me look at the last one. YGYI. 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 And whoop, I hit the wrong letter there. Okay, and our trigger never went off. Here's our trigger. You see what happened? It went up, it came down, and it's just chopped. And this is what happens a lot with these names. We talk about it all the time. Sometimes the only part of the move is in the after hours. And by the time retail traders come into play, big money's out of it and there's no more move or it sells off. Okay, so none of them, well, not none of them, STML triggered, but later in the day, and it only popped for about 20 cents. All right, so let's go back to the market. And I was going to talk a little bit about 2-minute scalping. Okay, so this is the 30-minute. Let me auto zoom it back in. There we go. Okay, here's the 30-minute, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when we go to the 2-minute, because it gets a little bit noisy, right? So here's where we opened on the 30-minute. And we already know what our range is. Here's our low, here's our high for the day. Everything else has been in between there. Okay, we've been back down and below opening price a couple of times. And we still have not broke the high of the day as of now. It looks like we're starting to move back up. Okay, could have been a possible scalp on the 30-minute above there. 2809.50, and right now we're at 2813.25. That probably would give you a little bit of money there. And it's been as high as 2814.75. So that probably would have gave you a little bit of money, especially because today's an expiry day. You're a little bit more likely to get some money if the move happens relatively soon. You noticed, and I'll talk about that here in a second, you noticed all my plays today. Hey, Cathal, I just saw you, bud. All my plays today have been super short. Super short. Okay, it's an expiry day, and all you're looking to do is just catch a little pop here and there. All right, so here's what it looks like on the 30-minute. Okay, there's the 30-minute. Now, watch what happens when I switch to the 2-minute. If it'll let me do it. There we go. Okay, 2-minute. Come back over here. And of course it's starting to flip out on me. What is it doing? It is not giving me one problem all day until I get on with you guys, and now it's starting to absolutely freak out. All right, here we go. So let me go back to the beginning of the day. Okay, over here. All right, so here's the beginning of the day, because there is our opening price level, okay? And I want you to see how different the 2-minute looks, right? Okay, look at all these candles. So just like over to here, this is the first 30 minutes. So this is all one candle. All of this right here is one candle on the 30-minute. So you see how much noise you get, right? All right, so I did not. Let me give you some tips here. I see Lake just triggered going above the hammer. Lake did. I do not play the first candle. So this is only a 2-minute candle. All right, then you can start. I didn't. Okay, you can start looking right after the first candle. Are you getting continuation, or are you starting to get a reversal? If you get continuation, you can enter a tick or two below this opening candle in whichever direction it is. Now, the reason I'm saying that is look at the 2 moving averages. See how they're together. See this? Okay, so right now, there's not a bias by the market one way or the other. All right, so you don't know anything. Obviously, I didn't have this line drawn in until later, and I'll talk about it here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so at this point, you don't know what the bias is for the day, meaning the market, not your bias. You shouldn't have one. Okay, but you could enter here, right? And then you ride it down until price starts to come back against you. Now, what I typically do is if it comes back, if it's a bigger candle, if it comes back more than 50%, I just get out. Okay, that would be an exit for me. Or if the move gets me, maybe $100 or something, okay, then I just get out. All right. So what happened here? Okay, it came down strong, and let's see if you would have entered. That's 295.75, and then about half of the candle. That only would have been about $3, so I'm glad I didn't take that, right? I was really not convinced the market knew what it was going to do. Then look at all these candles in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, really, you could say 7. Okay, 7 candles, just really not doing much. But what is the general movement here? Okay, it's slight, but the general movement's to the upside. So what I was looking for was a break over these 7 candles, a break over here. As soon as it broke, which was right here, I entered right there. And then look what happened. Pop. See this? Pop right up here. And as soon as this started to go red, I was out. So that was my first trade right there. Okay, you see that? See these 7 candles, not really doing much, but I could tell that they were ever so slightly moving to the upside. So what I was looking for was a break above here, right above here. That's where I entered, and then I took it up to here and exited. Okay, then what happened? Okay, basically we had a rally, then a base, even though this is here. Okay, these 3 candles, when we took the top of that out, I entered. Look what happened. Pop. As soon as it started to do this, exit. I'm out. Okay, and it pulled back. Now we're starting to see something. At the time, I want you to know, I want you to see this because I want you to see what I could see at the time. All right, so up here is where I would have got out. This is all I could see right then. What do I know? Okay, I know that now the 20 and the 200 are starting to separate. They're starting to separate. So let's move the next candle. Okay, now it's pulling back. Does that make sense? Okay, let's just stop and think about it. Does it make sense that this would be pulling back right now? In my opinion, it does. Okay, why? Because what kind of a move did we get here? Okay, not only is it a rally-based rally, look at the angle of attack. Look how steep it is. Okay, remember what I always talk about, right? 45-degree angle, you can just kind of stay in it. 40, 45, 50 degree, right in there. You can just kind of stay in it and just kind of ride the 20. Once you start getting up above 60, 75, clear up to maybe even close to a 90, that's when you got to worry about what? Exhaustion. So when we got up here and I exited, I was actually anticipating we may see somewhat of a pullback. Where am I thinking it's going to pull back to? So at this point, I'm thinking maybe opening price level or maybe back to the 20. All right, so let's see what happens. Okay, next candle, green. Next candle, oh, green again. Green again. So that's telling me, okay, maybe what we have here, we had a rally-based rally, and this is just a structure level, right? People taking profit, like I did, right? I took profit up here. Okay, people taking profit's going to cause it to come back this way. All right, didn't even get back down here. 20, look at the 20 now. 20 is now starting to angle up. It's starting to catch up. All right, so here comes my third trade, right up here. Boom, in, boom. See that? I entered right here on the break of this. I saw this was green. This came up, kind of pulled back a little bit. But again, if I come back over here, all right, I'm just trying to talk you through this. As soon as I see that, and I look down at my screen at the 20, and the 20 is starting to get sharper, so the structure's coming back towards the 20, and the 20's coming up, and I look at this, right? I look at this move, and we went up, we based, we went up. It makes sense that we would have a structure pullback. Okay, not a collapse, a structure pullback. Then I see a green candle. I'm ready. Okay, let's see what the next candle was again. It was green again. So in my mind, I'm saying, all right, right here, if we can take this out, I feel good about a long. Why? Because this was structure. We're definitely in an uptrend. We're above the 20. The 20 is above the 200. Everything is in our favor right now. Everything is in our favor. And I know if we continue in the uptrend, okay, here's where it started. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is starting the fifth leg. What have I told you before? Most trends last 5 to 7 legs on average. Sometimes if they get extended, they might last 9 or more, but that's rare, right? 5 to 7 is about the average. So look again, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting the fifth. If we take this out, I know that it's likely, no guarantees, it's likely that we're going to take out the top of this. All right, so here we go. We already know because I just showed you. Next candle, boom. There it is. Okay, so we take it out here, I enter, and then we get the explosion. Remember, these are only 2-minute candles. That's it. This is all happening just every couple of minutes. That's why when you saw that and you see I'm only in a trade 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. That's all it takes. Okay, next candle, boom, out. I'm out, right? Because I'm not going to push my luck. Next candle, good thing, right? Next candle, good thing, right? Okay, back down to the 20. Back down to the 20. All right, now what happens? Ooh, we're starting to go below the 20. Then we catch a little bit. Now we're down to opening price level. So now I'm thinking this has got to be some support, right? Opening price level from over here. Once the 20 didn't hold, and I'm going to tell you right now, if we would have put in a green candle above, now see the body ended up below, a green candle above here, I would have looked to enter if we would have taken this out. So let's say this ended as a green candle and closed above here. The first chance that that would have went above, I would have looked to enter again thinking, okay, we got another structure level. Okay, but that's not what happened. It came all the way through back to the 20. Right, then here we go. There we go. Start moving up again. All right, so here, I look to enter there. Take it up to here. I think this is the one. Let's see if the next candle is the one where it came back down. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I exited when this started falling. Remember, in real time, this is the one I was talking about. Up here, I was up like $50, but I didn't get out. I got out at $12.50, but I got out before this. Okay. So I was looking to see, are we going to pop and get clear back up to here or even take that out? What happened was from here to up here, you see that it took a few candles. That's why it was only 50 bucks. It didn't happen. See how these were all explosions. Here, here, and here. All three of those. Okay. So from here to here, then I see this, I get out 112.50. Here to here, I see this, I get out 112.50. Here to here, I see this, I get out 87.50. Then this came down. I didn't really catch anything. I was looking for a play here. Didn't happen. Okay. This is where I was telling a lot of you, and I've been telling a lot of you before, a lot of people think that scalping is a good strategy for somebody who's impatient. I totally disagree. In fact, I think you have to have more patience. So if I come back over here, I told you, I didn't take any of this, right? And even by my own rules, I probably could have entered right here, but I didn't feel confident. And if you don't feel confident, don't take the trade. I was right. Okay, now would I have made something here? I might have made a few dollars, maybe. Okay, but I didn't feel confident, so I didn't take it. I didn't take it. Then I started to see all this. This made me feel confident. This made me feel confident. And then that's why when we got the break above here, I was ready. I was in. As soon as I see a pop like that, and then I start to see it came up here and then it started to go red, then you're out. Then you're out. Okay, that's how you have to play these kind of trades. All right, now let's get back over here, because now I'm going to show you. Okay, I drew this line up through here. Let me make this smaller so you can see it, and I'll squeeze everything in. Remember, these are all 2-minute candles. These are all 2-minute candles. All right, so got, where were we? Over here, got this. Okay, then it started to come back down. Okay, then we rejected off of here. Okay, but then what did we do? Okay, almost back to this line, and we put in a hammer. Then we spiked up, came back down. So where do you think you're looking for an entry? Right above here. Okay, got this pop, green, 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 and then this popped up and came back down. You're done. You're done. Hey, Riz, good to see you, buddy. You got it. You got it, Kelsey. Above that. Okay, and we got the pop again. Okay, then it kind of flattened out, popped up a little bit, popped up a little bit. All right. Okay, now, again, I am looking for it to come back and test here and go higher. Okay, so what did it do? Shooting star. Now, this one I missed. And I'm going to tell you, I can't remember. It was either my wife had asked me to do something or one of the kids needed something. This should have been a play. Okay, from here back down, that should have been a play. Why? Because it made sense. When we couldn't hold here, look at this. You could almost draw a line right across here. When we couldn't hold here and it came back and formed a shooting star, even though this is the 2-minute, everything still applies. I should have, if I was ready, I should have been looking for a short right there back to this line. That would have been my exit point. Right? Why? Because up until this point, right, this is the trend. Okay, I missed that one. I'm just telling you, I missed it. But then we came back down here, chopped around. Then we moved back up. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, then it came back around, almost back down to the line, back up, almost back down. And I think, let me see here. I'm trying to think where that last one was. I think it was right here. Because I left to go on my walk at right around 12:30. And it was right after I exited. So I think it was right here, right above here. Caught this pop. This went up and then started to go red right in here. So I think it was somewhere in here. And then I haven't taken a trade since then. I haven't taken it because I went for my walk, came back, showered, and now I'm on with you guys. Okay, Kelsey, I had another question. Do the bigger names get bigger pops generally? Not necessarily. Okay, just because something's a bigger name, there's a lot of things that happen or go into why something pops. Okay, sometimes a lesser known name, because it has a low float and maybe has a high short float, that would cause it to pop. All right. On a bigger name, there's more available shares. It takes more to make it pop. It takes more. There's actually more effort involved. So I saw somebody talking about this the other day who's a scalper, a professional scalper. The guy was talking about why he kind of plays in between names. He doesn't necessarily always play the really popular names. He doesn't necessarily play the $2 to $10 to $15 names. He likes the names that are sort of like $20 to $75, kind of the in-between names, and not all of them might be the most well-known names. And then he looks for low float, high short float, news events, high beta, things like that, because they would have the tendency to really get these spikes. And that's what you want if you're a scalper. Okay, if there's a hammer on ES, is it more likely to be a good pop than a smaller price name with a similar size hammer? Again, just what I said, not necessarily. It just depends. In reality today, we're not getting a whole lot of movement out of ES. Imagine what my plays could be like if it was one of those days where we were moving $100 to $150 in one day. So far, our range is like 28, 29 bucks. Okay, on those kind of days, some of these pops that I'm catching, those could have been $20, $30, $40 pops. And yes, you would have caught them on a 2-minute chart. Okay, so then I stopped playing because I went for my walk and everything. But then look, I come back and look, now we're on the underside of this. This was our trend up until right here. And now look, okay, now look. Again, we're still on the 2-minute, okay, came back down. All right, this could have been a trade right here, okay, right there. We break below, and then as soon as you come back up to about 50% of that, you're out. Okay, that could have been a trade. Then look at all this chop, this range right here. Okay, what would we have been looking for? A breakout. What did we get? A breakout right here, right there. Okay, that could have been a trade. As soon as it starts to go green on you, you're out. Came down here to support. Now we started moving back up with structure. Reclaim the 20. Okay, and that's another thing here. We also went below the 20. However, the 20 was above the 200. That's where you got to be careful. This is sort of no man's land. This is sort of in between, and that it doesn't surprise me that we got all this chop right through here. Okay, then we bounced off the 20 back down here, put in structure, bounced down. Okay, then started going this direction. Okay, now let's see what we're doing now. Okay, so from here, from support, we've went up, put in structure, back to the 20. We've went up again, put in some structure, back down to the 20. There was a pop. I don't know that I would have caught that. Okay, this candle is not the kind of candle that would give me any kind of warm fuzzies that I'm about to see a pop, but there was a pop. Okay, then it came back around, little pop, then we got a shooting star and it went down. Okay, so that right there could have been a play. Let's look here. 28.1350, and you probably would have been able to get it down to 28.08 because you would have came down here and then it would have started coming back against you. So you probably could have caught about $5. And when you're scalping on a day of expiration, those kind of moves pay. All right? It's all about timing. And I don't know that, hey, Chin. Okay, so structure is what we see in the market. And good question. It'll be easier to see on a higher time frame. So let's go back here. Let's go back to the 30-minute. Okay, so structure, for anybody who doesn't know, but Chin's asking the question, is when you have your moves like this. Okay, so lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Sometimes you see me draw it in. Let's do this. I'm trying to make it as clean as possible for you. Okay, so like here. Okay, from here up to here, that's a leg. Then from here, okay, that's a leg. Then all the way up there. Okay, all the way back down here. All the way up here. Actually, let me look. You could either do it here. That's a doji, so technically it's not green or red. I typically like to have at least two of the same color. Some people, everybody's a little bit different. Then from there, I would probably come to here. And then over to here. Then you would go clear up here. Okay, and what I'm drawing in, Chin, is structure. Okay, this is what is known as structure. It is the movement of the market. So now, let me do this. Okay, this is the movement of the market. The market's always breathing. You may sometimes hear trading teachers talk about that the market breathes. It breathes in a couple of different ways. This is one way, right? So some people refer to these as legs. Okay, there's a leg up. This pullback is a leg down. Okay, that's a pullback. Leg up, leg down. Leg up, leg down. Leg up, leg down. Leg up, leg down. Up until this point, these are all higher high, higher low, higher high, meaning it's higher than this, higher low, meaning it's higher than this, higher high, higher than that, higher low, higher than this, okay, higher high, higher than this. Each time you go higher than the previous level of structure. Higher low, because it's higher than this, higher high, higher than this, okay, technically higher low, higher than this, okay, just barely, right? If it's even or higher, that means you're continuing. If it's lower, that's when you start thinking, is the trend about to change? All right, then it did go higher, then it was even, then it went higher. Okay, so it did keep going. It did keep going, but that is structure. And it works to the downside too. Okay, does that help you, Chin? Okay, this is structure. Higher highs, higher lows, or the opposite. Lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. Okay, the market is definitely moving up. Let's get back to it. Let's go to 30-minute. You're welcome, Chen. I'm glad. It's what we're here for. Always ask questions if you don't know something, because that's what it's all about, right? We're all about the basics here, trying to help everybody. Okay, here we go. Okay, so on the 30-minute, let's look at this. On the 30-minute, what did we just have? Okay, had a 3-candle pattern play, right? Green, resting candle, and then we went higher. Now, let's see, we need to take out the top of this wick here, which we are, all right, and let's look over here. Do we have anything that could slow us? Okay, we're already above that. Okay, what is this, 28.24? Okay, so somewhere up in here between 28.24 and 28.2750. We'll watch it for a second. In fact, let's do this. Let's see, was there anything on the 2-minute? And another thing about playing the 2-minute chart, the best time of day to play it is about the first hour or so. I mean, you can play it first hour and a half, but first hour in between 2 and 3:30. Best time to play the 2-minute chart. Okay. Was there a play? Absolutely. I'll show it to you if I can get my chart, if I can get Thinkorswim to stay still. All right. So here would have been a play, right here. Okay, down to here. Then remember what I said, second green. So we see it bottom out, and it's bottoming out right by the 200. Second green candle. If we take this out. Now, if this is a hammer, you could go right above it. But when it's some kind of indiscriminate candle like this, I like to see at least one more to tell me, okay, yeah, I think it's going to go up. So when we got this other smaller green one, right there would have been your entry. Above here. And then look at this. Look at this move. And then probably when it came back there and started red, even if it goes higher from here, out. Right? You just take it. You just pocket it. Lock it in. Lock it in. Okay, so there would have been 2. Play here. Okay, down to here. Right in here. And then a play from here. Now this one would have been hairy. I'm looking at it right there. Okay, that's almost exactly 50%. Okay, once it starts to retrace more than 50%, I typically like to get out because you can always re-enter. If it comes down like down into here and then all of a sudden starts shooting back up, you can always re-enter. That is so close. That is so close. Let's look at this candle. 28.12.50, 28.08.25. So $4.25. So let's subtract 425. Excuse me, 225 from 28.12.50 would be 28.10.25. Nope. Yep, right about there. So it never did retrace 50%. Okay, 28.10.25 is 50% of this candle. So yeah, you'd still be in. Just eyeballing it, it's like an optical illusion because this is green and this is the tail. It's an optical illusion because 50% is right there. So it never did get down to 50%. So you could have caught this all the way up here, and then when it came back and started to go red, just get out. Just get out. Okay, so that'd be a nice move right there. 28.10.25 to 28, almost, yeah, 28.18 really. So almost an $8 move in 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I guarantee you that would have paid well. That would have paid really, really well right there. Okay. All right, so we're a little bit over. I try to keep these private ones right around 45 minutes. Sometimes we go an hour. Hopefully this little lesson, we'll talk about it more in coming live streams and in the room. I used to trade these 2-minute scalps a lot. Because I've been so busy with you guys and with the Simple Trading Life and some other things, it's been hard because, as you can see, you have to be really focused. You got to be really focused. You do not want to do this if you're distracted. If you are distracted in any way, do not trade the 2-minute scalps. Okay, do not. I'm just telling you, because they'll go against you real quick. Or they might go for you, and if you're not paying attention, by the time you like, oh my gosh, I missed this, and all of a sudden it's like clear back down here. Okay? So only trade a 2-minute scalp strategy if you can be laser focused to what's going on. And you want to know things like, you might look up here. This tells me up here, when they're green, that means that these time frames are green. These two are red. Whenever these are all green and I'm going long, that makes me feel really good, right? Or if I'm going short and these are all red or mostly red, like sometimes the day and the 4-hour, they might be a little bit different, right? Because you're on such a small time frame. But like right now, everything is green. Everything is green. See this? So if I was long, now right now, I don't know if I'd want to get in or not. It might pop because remember we were saying it's likely that it might get up here around 24 to 27.50. Okay, so we're thinking it's going to get up in here. All right, so this might just be like a rally-based rally right there. So if it takes this out, right, might be able to catch some up here because everything is green. Where are we at? So we'd have to go 28.20 or above. Yeah, 28.20 or above. Now it's easing off. I'll stay on here just another minute or so. We'll see if it does anything. So you're looking for like 28.20 or 28.25. There it goes. There's the pop. There's the pop. So right now, that's at 625 or 375. 625, 38, no, but it was at 375. So let's see what it goes to. Let's see what they go up to. So right there would have been your entry. There's the pop. See how everything's green? And we knew, based on the wick that we looked at on the 30-minute, we know what we got to get up into. 28.24 up to the 28.2750. Somewhere in there we would expect some resistance. Let me go back over here. Okay, 375, and what was this one? I can't even remember now. I know this one was at 375. I can't remember what that one was. Trying to see what it would have paid. Okay. Nothing to do here yet. Okay, we're just acting like we're in this one right now. Now basically, if it comes back down below this line that I have on my cursor, if it comes back below there, then I'd be out. I'd be stopped out because I would just exit. Okay, I'd be out. I'd be out right now. And it may reverse and go higher, but I could get back in, right? If it comes back up here, I can always re-enter. Okay, so there was a pop from here up of $2.50. And let's go back over here. Okay, now see how quickly they changed. This would have been $3.75 an entry, and it went up over $4. Okay, it's already down to $3.40. You see how quickly it comes back against you when you're playing options? That's why you've got to be quick. You got to be quick when you're playing options. All right, let's just watch this. We'll watch it for, this is a 2-minute chart, so it should either start to go negative fairly quickly or it'll start to head back up. But I'm just telling you, if I would have been playing this, I would have took it here, and then if it retraces 50% of this, so I'm just saying, I didn't figure it up mathematically. I'm just saying it was right about there. I would have stopped out, and then if it went back my way up here, right here, if it would go green, I could re-enter. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm just going to hang out a couple minutes here, and then we'll get off. I'm just trying to see, is it gonna pop back up there? I hope you guys can see how it's a little bit more nerve-wracking to play the 2-minute than it is the 30-minute. Okay, the 30-minute can be a lot more relaxed, right? Because you're not worried about every little individual candle, and you don't have all this noise on here. Remember, I showed you how many of these candles. It's going to be 15 of them. Makes up a 30-minute candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So all of these candles right here make up one 30-minute candle. But if you like to scalp and you're good at it and you can be patient to take the best plays and you can be disciplined to get out, like here, again, this may still go the direction that we were thinking, right? But you have to be disciplined. You can't assume anything. So right there, if I said, that is my exit point, that is my stop, then boom, you get out. Now, if it retakes the top of this right here, you can re-enter and then ride it up, okay? So if it takes this out here, that could be a re-entry right there. So where my line is, where my cursor is, if it takes that out, that can be a re-entry. And we'll see what happens. Now see, I do like this, but I can't do this like all day long, right? Most people who trade like this, like when I said the best time is maybe like the first hour, no more than an hour and a half, a lot of the pros that trade like this, now they're trading with size. They're trading, like if they're trading shares, they're trading, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000 shares at a time. If they're trading options contracts, they're trading 10, 20, 25 contracts at a time. and they only trade like the first 45 minutes, and then maybe from 2 until like 3 o'clock or 2:30 to 3:30, and that's it. Because this takes a lot of mental power. I unhooked something. Hopefully I didn't unhook you guys. There we go. Takes a lot of mental power, a lot of mental fatigue can be involved. Like there's no way I could trade like this all day, 6.5 hours. I just couldn't do it. It would burn you up mentally. All right, still watching. That's why I still have my cursor here. Okay, right now, just kind of, it might actually be putting in another level. Okay, like this. We might see 3 or 4 candles here and then a pop or a fade. And you've got the 20 down here. Okay, we're starting to get a little distance between the 200 to the 20 and the 20 up here. Okay, it's entirely possible we could see another pullback close to here and then a bounce. All right, the same rules apply on a 2-minute as on a 15-minute, a 30-minute, a 4-hour, a daily, a weekly. The same rules apply. Okay, if we start to see these big rises that are more than 45-degree angle, and the 20 starts to get far away from the 200, price starts to get far away from the 20, we almost can expect some sort of a pullback or exhaustion. And then maybe we could go higher. All right? Okay, guys, right now it doesn't look like it's popping above here, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. Hope you guys got some value out of this. I'll see you in the room, and if you're trading anything, stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.